All right, doing a transmission fluid flush, 2011 Ford Explorer. See right down here, that cap right there, that is where you fill it, and that is your dipstick too. It's not hard to take this off if you need to. You just this air breather cover, intake, whatever you want to call it, just loosen up your clamp there, pop your wire connection loose there, then these two pieces, one there and one over there, pop it off, and you just take the whole thing off and get to it a little bit easier, but it probably won't be much easier. This is Mercon LV fluid, transmission fluid. Down here I'm already draining it. This takes 11mm socket, which I just used a little small 1/4" ratchet because it's supposed to have tapered threads on it. If you screw it in there too tight, then it could possibly crack your aluminum right here. So 11mm socket. This is a fluid, 150,300 miles roughly. They don't look real dirty to me, but that's probably up to opinion. I'm going to drain this out. Should drain about 4 quarts. Then I'll put the plug back in it, put 4 more quarts in it, start it up, let the transmission fluid mix in, the new transmission fluid mix in with the old transmission fluid, and then I will let it run for a minute, then shut it off, drain it again, put 4 quarts back in there, do the same thing. You got to drain it 3 times and put 3 different times of 4 quarts, and then have you an extra quart. It's supposed to take 12.9 quarts to do the flush, so I bought 13 quarts, of course. And I did not get the Motorcraft oil. I just got, I'll show you what I got. I bought it at AutoZone. It's Valvoline Max Life. It was $6 for 4 quarts cheaper at Advanced Auto Parts than it was at O'Reilly's. So I bought 13 quarts total for, I think it was $25 after tax. I mean, sorry, $65 after tax. And if I would have bought it at O'Reilly's, it would have been around $95 after tax. All right, well, I ran into a little problem. You see, I took dipstick out and the fill cap, and I cannot get down in there with this funnel, and it's the only one I have. So I'm going to have to take this whole piece off right here, your intake from your filter, mass airflow sensor, up to your throttle body up here. So this piece, this whole piece area will come out. I already loosened up the clamp there, and right here I'll take this hose off, and you can't really see it, but there's a little red tab right down there that has to pull back. You hear that click? And that gets it so you can push in, if I can get it. That's a little hard to do. Push in, pull it out. And there's your mass airflow sensor. These 2 little tabs here. And you got another little hose right here. If you can see this, you pull this back and around like that. Come on. this day now. When I was changing my spark plug. And you pull it out. There you go. And I think I got everything. That's loose. Let's see if we can just lift it up and out of there. And there's my K&N air filter. And you can see that a little bit better down in there, Phil. And you just slide this down in there. Alright, I'm going to put 4 quarts back in there. That stuff's supposedly supposed to be as good as a Motorcraft. So hopefully it is. I got the cap off. I was telling y'all how much I paid for this. Well, look how red that is. Well, the reason I found it so cheap was the O'Reilly's I went to said they had 3 of these gallon jugs, which is 4 quarts, in stock, and they did not. So on the way home, luckily there was Advanced Auto Parts on the way, and I stopped and they had it, and like I said, it was I think $6 for a gallon cheaper, and I think the 1 quart was only like $6 instead of 7 something. And then somehow I got another little discount on it, and it turned out to be $65. Old fluid, and I put it back in this. This is a 4 quart, but it's only showing it had about 3 quarts that drained out. This vehicle was involved in a wreck recently, and they had to replace the radiator, so I don't know. It didn't look like they topped it off. I had to, when I took off the cap, it looked like it never, or it looked like it hadn't been taken off recently. Alright, I'm hooking everything back up, which if I would have had a better funnel, maybe with a flex neck or something a little longer to get down in there, I wouldn't have to hook all this back up, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have your mass airflow sensor hooked up, and you really need all your air filtered before it comes in. So I'm just going to have to take this back off after I run a little bit and let that fluid go through there. Mass airflow sensor plug. You see that red tab? That's what I was talking about earlier. You gotta make sure it's out all the way like that. And then what you're doing is you're pressing down right here to open it up, so then you can pull it up. Got done doing the flushes. The more I flushed it, or the more I changed it. I changed it to 1, 2, and the 3rd time I left it in there. Then I ran it. It said to run it about 20 miles to warm it up to the proper temperature. Then cycle it through the gears for at least 20 seconds, and then you pull out your dipstick, check your dipstick, and then just add till it needed. So that 4 quarts plus this quart all the way, so getting close to 5 quarts. And the fluid, whenever I was changing the fluid, like I said, it was getting redder instead of as dark it was to begin with.